Good morning. What's going on, guys? Good morning, Sharif. No trades yesterday. If you were wondering, I didn't have power for about an hour, so we ended up cutting into our trading session there. We couldn't place any trades because I had an electrician working on some breakers and outlets outside, so my backup power for my UPS only lasts a couple minutes, and then I got a generator, but it's in the back of my truck, and I just didn't feel like it's more for like emergencies. If the power is going to be out for hours or a couple days, I got a backup generator. So what'd you do, blow the account up yesterday? We got a backup generator, but that's only for like emergencies. So we just took yesterday off. Last night took a quick 10-point scalp actually with just one micro contract. I wanted to test something out. We grabbed $20 in profit there. Until I get like consistent with following our rules and like trading well and in that rhythm, I'm going to be trading actually a smaller size for now. The smaller size or the large size isn't the reason why I'm winning or losing, but until we get like consistent and disciplined, kind of wanted to like just scale back a little bit. But as you can see last night at 7:44 Texas time, the market was kind of bullish in Tokyo session. So we kind of got this pop up here to the 420s, pull back to the 21 EMA. As soon as I saw price kind of bouncing off that 21 EMA at the 417, we hopped in long just with one micro contract, grabbed 10 points, got out. Just kind of reading my book last night, just sitting on the computer, and I logged into Trade Evade on my phone, and I actually wanted to see if I could just place an order with my phone just for fun, like just a little one micro contract buy order. So we waited for a good setup still. I think this was like a 1 to 2 risk to reward. We risked like $10 to make $20. So I just wanted to see what it was like to place a trade from my phone. I always trade from a computer setup and a desk here. I don't trade when I'm on the road or out and about, but yeah, we got the market opening here in 4 minutes. Yeah, blown the entire account. I'm not feeling well. I mean, everything was right, but that thing happened to me. I've never imagined that 5 mini contracts. Well, I don't know what to tell you, brother. You got to go meditate and breathe, and you got to focus on what you're doing. You got to pay attention. With trading, you definitely have to pay attention and be careful with what you're doing, because that was a technical error. I've made technical errors before, and it stinks, but you just got to learn from it and know that you got to be careful and just let it be a lesson learned. You got to take your time and pay attention to what you're doing. Like, you should have already known that you were on minis instead of micros. It says micro right here or mini right here. So I don't know what to tell you. I knew that was going to be hard for you to bounce back from, because I know if I did that, I would have been mentally kind of messed up too. At least you didn't have to buy that account, and it was given to you. I know that still you probably still feel bad, but I don't know. Hey, I made a small mistake too. When I reset this account, I didn't realize that on Take Profit Trader, I should have just bought a brand new account for $102. Instead, I paid $100 to reset. And now if I don't pass this account by January 15th, they charge me another $100. It doesn't reset the whole 30 days of trading. And I talked to customer support and was like, dude, I would have paid $2 more to get another full month of trading. Now I feel like I'm almost kind of like rushed, but because I mean, $2, that's only like $2 is not much, at least to me. And I would have paid that. So now it's like I just reset instead of getting a new account. But I didn't know, so it is what it is. But yeah, we're just gonna trade 5 micros today. We're gonna wait until another 30 minutes for our setups to kind of show on the 2-minute chart here. 85, that's weird. Mine was 100. Mine was $100 to reset. I don't know why it's only 85 for you. Also, tomorrow the market's going to close because an observation for Jimmy Carter, one of our presidents, died. So we won't be trading tomorrow, but we'll be back on Friday. Be back on Friday. Honestly, Sharif, you probably shouldn't even be watching the stream right now. I mean, it's probably not what a YouTuber would tell his subscribers to do, but like if you blow up your account, the market's closed tomorrow and you don't have money for another account at the moment, you made a technical mistake like that, you should probably just go exercise or go meditate and go read a book, go do something else, because sitting here and watching me trade is not going to do anything. Yeah, sorry. I mean, we're not doing any more account giveaways right now. I can't really be doing that until I start getting my own payouts and doing well, because I got my own bills to pay and I got kids and I'm working another job, trading in the morning. I got to go to my other job in 2 hours. We'll be done by 10 a.m. Texas time. Market currently at 21,336, VWAP at 21,354. So we got a pivot point up there at 480 and another pivot point below at 156. There's the 5-minute. Wonder if I can save these colors as like a template. Save as. Put this as on blue and purple. Switched up the candle colors. Blue and purple. There we go. Let's see what happens if we go to here. Can we just do it like this? Boom. Oh, snap. Pimpin'. Yeah, I gotta buy diapers and baby food for my child. Can't be sending money to India all the time until I got my family taken care of. Trust me, I can't. I'm looking forward to the day when I can like help out people like way more than I'm currently doing. But I used to do that when I was making a lot of money with solar. Kind of dip below these lows. It's like 310 area. We're just going to wait for this first 15 minutes. Like we usually, strategy stays the same. We're going to be cool and calm. And we're just going to follow our setups. So here's what I've learned from reading this book. And I got like 1 or 2 chapters left. And once I read these last 2 chapters, they're going to get into like some of the good stuff. But now we'll see if I can actually apply it. When you have an edge, all that is a probability that the market's going to move in your favor more than it won't. But there's still never certainties. There's still never guarantees. You still don't know what the market's going to do. You never know what the market's going to do, right? So if you have an edge, it's just a probability that the market's going to move more in your favor than it's not. And if I backtest my edge and my strategy, it does. It works more times than it doesn't work. However, even with an edge, there's still a random distribution of wins and losses, meaning you never know if it's going to be a win or a loss when you put that trade on. So you need to set your fixed amount that you're willing to risk and know that there's also a probability that it could hit your stop loss. You take a loss and you're just done for the day. And that was a day where your edge experienced a loss. It doesn't mean your edge doesn't work. Most times, it just means that that was one of the random losses that you're going to experience. And so when you can become like a robot and detach your emotions from that and know that you're not trying to win every day, you're just trying to stick to your edge and your plan. And over the long term, you're going to be profitable. You're going to make money. And so you need to trust when you're in the green and you're profiting in a trade to let it hit a 1 to 2 or a 1 to 3 or a 1 to 4 risk to reward. So right now, what I want to focus on throughout the rest of this month is sticking to our plan and seeing if I can do that part. That part's in my control, me following the rules. And then we'll see profits. And then I can start scaling up and putting on 10 micro contracts, 15 micro contracts, 20 micro contracts. And our wins are going to get bigger. Our losses are going to be bigger too. And we're going to have losses. But until I've demonstrated to myself that I can stick to my edge and follow my plan and not trade based off of feelings, emotions, go on tilt, over trading, doing all that bullshit, I'm not scaling up and trading a larger size. If that means I got to pay another $100 in a week to pay for my monthly subscription for my prop firm account, whatever. That's the price that I got to pay per month to play the game. Okay. People pay way more than $100 a month in America to go to the bar and drink alcohol and go out with their friends and party, right? I'm paying $100 to work, to participate in the markets, to come here live on YouTube with y'all, learn, trade every day, and get better in practice. So, but it feels like less pressure and less emotion when you're trading a smaller size. So until you get discipline and practice and you're following your plan consistently, there's no sense in going bigger size, because yeah, your wins are going to be bigger, but so are your losses. But if you're having more losses than more wins because you're not sticking to your plan, bro, you need to scale down. You need to trade smaller size. So Sharif, I know you were trying to trade 5 micros. You accidentally traded 5 minis. We're going to trade 5 micros. So then when I see up, ticks in the wrong direction and the trade's going against me, I'm not going to feel as bad. And if it hits my stop loss, whether that's 10, 15, 20 points, we take a loss for the day and we come back tomorrow. Hey, that day the edge didn't work out. But most of the times it does. It works like 80% of the time. Now, I need to work 100% of the time, meaning I need to follow the edge 100% of the time so that the trades can work 80% of the time. But if I'm only following my edge 50% of the time, 30% of the time, 70% of the time, then we can't even get a good sample of trades to see like how this is working. So today, I promise we are going to stick to our plan. I'm going to wait until 9 a.m. Central Time. We're going to place one trade today, and we're going to wait for a breakout on the 2-minute time frame, and we're going to make sure we are creating bull or bear flags above or below this 15-minute range. and it's either going to work or it's not going to work. And even if I do all of that correctly, there's still a possibility it doesn't work, because trading is probabilities. That's all it is. A casino, when they play blackjack, the casino wins about 4 to 5%, I think, on every dollar spent. The money flows more to them than it does to the people playing blackjack. They don't try to hope that, like, hey, today the casino is going to win, because they don't know. There could be somebody in there that wins a bunch of blackjack games and wins money from the casino. But what the casino knows is that over the course of a year, the casino wins. They're thinking about the long term. They're not thinking about every hand and every blackjack game and every day. They just know that their system works in their favor. The odds are in their favor over the course of a year, over the long run. So when you have an edge or a plan that works over the long run, you just got to do your trade according to the plan. You either win or you lose. If you lose, close it down. Some people, they want to have 2 losses, then they close it down. For me, I want to really be disciplined with just going back to just one trade. Wait for our setup. Wait for our A+ setup. Take it. Let it play out. Get in, get out, lose or win, and then come back and do it again tomorrow. And then when we've been consistently doing that for like a week, then we'll go up to 10 micro contracts, and then 15, and then 20. That's how you pass these accounts in 5 days, trading 15, 20 micros with this strategy. But it's also how you can blow up the account quickly if you're not being disciplined. So that's all I have to say about that. That's my little rant during our 15-minute opening range here. Market pushing down into the 290s. But I think I started getting into the mentality of like, I know what's going to happen next. If I like, you never know with the market, even when you have an edge where it works most of the time and you just followed it, there's still a chance that you're going to have a losing trade. You need to accept that risk when you put the trade on. But people only place trades when they think they know they're about to be right. And that's what this book talks about. It's really interesting. It's all like up here, like the strategy only gets you so far. I would say the strategy and the plan is less than half of it. And I'm not talking about feelings or emotions. I'm just talking about like how the brain works and how you need to function and operate as a professional, successful trader, and how those guys trade versus the rest of us that aren't finding consistency. They think in terms of probability, and they know it's the long game. They're not focused on the day by day and trade by trade. Yeah, I don't place any of my trades in TradingView. I know some people do, but we place all of our trades in Trade-of-8. There is ATM where, like, if you had to walk away from the computer, if it hits your take profit, it'll close out the stop loss too. But I haven't really figured out how to do that yet. I don't even know if we can do that. Yeah, it's right here, ATM orders, so that when it hits your take profit, it just closes the whole trade out if you were going to walk away from the computer. But yeah. Kind of chopping right now on the 5-minute, as you can see. We got 2 minutes left in the 15-minute opening range. Yeah, we got this new color scheme going on here. Wondering if that's gonna just help us not get emotional with these moves up and down on the 1 minute on our entries, and just trade the plan. And just know that when you put on a trade, you still don't know exactly what it's going to do. So I don't know why it's not showing today's high and low when I turn key levels on. Sometimes it'd be doing that. I don't know why. You just have to mark it manually. But yeah, we got another minute and 20 seconds here. We got the top of the range up here, like the 385 area. And I still feel sick right now. I haven't had any water since Sunday. The well went out here on the farm where I'm at. I got a technician coming tomorrow. I think we got to rewire the whole well. We put a new pump in. It was like $400. And it's a 100-foot well. We pulled it out of the ground yesterday. And yeah, so I haven't had any water. I've been showering at my neighbor's house. I have no water to do dishes, to, do anything that you use water for. And hopefully we can get it fixed tomorrow. And I didn't have electric heat for a good portion of yesterday morning or the day before that. I can't even remember now. Oh, not last night. The night before that, it was freezing. All I had was gas heat, which isn't really enough to keep the RV warm when it gets this cold. I have an electric fireplace too that I use. But at least we got all that running again. We got our electric back, and now tomorrow, hopefully, we will have water. So right now, market inside the 15-minute range. We got the 21 EMA right below VWAP there. If we can push up here above the 15-minute range and get a nice pull back to the 21 EMA, we might be able to get in for some longs right now. But right now, we're just waiting to see what the market wants to do. Currently trading right above VWAP. We got these kind of highs right here around the 380, 390 area pre-market. We have to get above. So, yep. Just kind of sitting back and waiting. I gotta go to the bathroom again, but we got 15 minutes until 9 a.m. We got no more news coming out that we got to pay attention to, so don't have to worry about that. Oh, I do have to use the bathroom, so I will be back. Think about this too. Like I'm going number 2 right now outside in the barn when it's like 30 degrees out, because I can only go number 1 inside the RV. So think about that when you're in your bathroom and it's warm and comfortable. I'm out here in the middle of thousands of acres of farmland with Starlink trading Nasdaq futures. Like a straight cowboy in Texas. Futures cowboy. I think that's what I'm going to change my name to that. Futures cowboy. FX cowboy. Shit schedule is messed up. about to be live on YouTube. So watch your quota. Hola, we're back. I have 4 viewers now. 4 people didn't want to watch a blank screen. I get it. They said, where's this guy at? Market pushed down aggressively on the 2-minute time frame back to the bottom of the 15-minute range, just to bounce back off and come back up a little bit. Market will be closed tomorrow, so we will not be trading tomorrow. We will be back on Friday. Maybe if I put my actual glasses on, I'll be able to see what I'm doing today, and we can actually make some money. Maybe that's what I needed to do. Instead of having my sunglasses on, I need my real glasses. Now I look like a freaking nerd, like a grandpa. I need to get contacts. These were like $900 though. These were not cheap. It makes the screen a little bit more clear. A little bit more clear. I used to wear these every day, but I don't wear them because my vision's not that bad. This just gives me a little bit like if this is 1080p, this is like 4K resolution, you know. But yeah, we in here. We're seeing what the Nasdaq wants to give us today. I want to see if she wants to give it to us. She want to give us some money or what? There's a music up in this bitch. Apex is getting sued. Uh-oh. I'm not going to watch that right now, but I don't know what that's all about. Could just be a bunch of stupid drama. We're not trading with Apex right now, so I don't know what that's all about. Apex is a really good company. One of their partners is suing them, apparently. The market is just chopping right now. The 21 EMA, up, down, up, down. So 15-minute range, keeping us protected from doing anything stupid here. Just waiting for our setups. Right now we're on step 3 of our 4-step plan, waiting for the price to create a bull or bear flag on the 2-minute time frame with a nice pullback to the 21 EMA. We're going to trade a small size here, so we're not going to risk that much until we kind of build that momentum up between today, Friday, and then all of next week. Then we'll go up to like 10 micros, and then up to 15, then up to 20, and then we'll start racking in the big bucks. But for now, it's like, if I can't stick to my plan with 10 or 15 micros, you know, just scale down then, because all I'm doing is hurting myself when I'm not following my plan and I'm trading a larger size. So until we get into the rhythm of trading well and being in a good mindset, then we can scale back up. Because the size isn't what, I mean, it can affect your trading a little bit psychologically with like the pressure and all. So, I mean, I had a lot of people commenting like, yo, scale down, like size down, you're risking too much for an account like that. Like, and I just didn't want to listen, but honestly, they're probably right a little bit. And, you know, I just didn't want to listen. It just happened. I accidentally just switched to ES. I had the space bar on my keyboard. Like, what the heck? But, yeah, like, you can trade a larger size when you have more equity in your account and you're trading well and you have multiple accounts. The idea is to eventually, make 20 grand a day, 30 grand a day. But until you get good at like being consistent with a small amount of money, then don't even try to trade a larger size yet. And I've done that before where I've traded well consistently, but then I got thrown off my rhythm or my game. And when you're not trading that well and you're not hot and you're kind of doing weird stuff, then you should risk less and just scale down. But instead, people will do the opposite. They'll scale up and risk more, which is what I did the other day. I think Monday afternoon, I made my way back up into the green, and then I got greedy, took a loss, and then I like scaled up on my last trade, and then just went way out of control and blew up my account. So the best traders know, and the professional traders know, that when you're not trading real hot and well, either do no trade, take a day off, or if you're going to place a trade, like scale down to a small amount. And then you can build that confidence back up and that momentum. Right now, Nasdaq just chopping along. the VWAP and 21 EMA are kind of close to each other. That yellow line right here is VWAP. The blue line is the 21 EMA. And then we got these two horizontal purple lines representing the top and bottom of the 15-minute range. So if there's no momentum or direction in the market or trend, there's nothing to do with our strategy. The market's just down, up, down, up. Like this is just ranging right now. So nothing to do besides kind of sit here and wait. You know, if I wasn't live on YouTube, I'd just be sitting here waiting, like, and then I'd have to edit the videos to show you guys just like the good parts where I'm entering trades and stuff like that. But you're with me doing the whole thing right here. There's the hourly candle close. It's 9 a.m. Texas time now. So we'll be here for at most another hour to wait to see if we see our setup. So we should start seeing the market wanting to pick a direction sooner or later. It can only range for so long before it's got to go up or down. The market can't range forever. It's balanced right now, though. When the market's doing this and it's moving sideways, that's balanced. We want to see imbalances where the buyers step in and drive the price up, or vice versa, sellers step in and drive the price down. And we just got to wait for that to happen. Nothing else to do besides sit here and wait. You know? Never been hunting in my entire life. If I get good at trading, I'd probably be a good hunter. Sometimes you gotta sit there for like 4 hours and wait for a deer to come through. You get there early in the morning before the sun comes up. You get in your deer stand, you got your bow and arrow ready, you've been practicing at home. And then you sit there and you gotta wait for 5 hours for a buck to come through, or maybe one never comes through, and then you gotta go home. You didn't even get a chance to take a shot. That's how hunting is. With bow hunting, now with rifle hunting, it's a little different. You can take a buck out from like super far away with a scope and like snipe them. You know, that's kind of like, I feel like bow hunting is a lot harder and challenging. It's more similar to trading than hunting with a gun. You got to get close to the animal. You got to be close. That deer's got to come right through where you're at. That's how they hunted for a long time before guns existed. So right now we're sitting in our deer stand. I got my camo on, you know what I'm saying? Got my camo. Nasdaq can't see me. I'm just hiding right here, just waiting for it to pop out and give me a bull flag or a bear flag. I'm gonna come out. Boom. There we go. Market pushing up above 15-minute range. Maybe the bulls will step in. We got pivot points kind of equidistant to the range on the upside and downside. Pivot point up there at 482, about 100 points away. But we also do have kind of these pre-market highs at 448 that could act as resistance. So got to keep that in mind too. The pre-market low 221. These could act as like key levels as well. So market pushing up now finally. There we go. Bulls are trying to step in here. See if we get this 21 EMA to cross over VWAP in 30 seconds. I think it will. So it looks like the bulls market's coming back up. So now we just need to see a price close there or something, and then get our entries. Always going to be close to the 21 EMA. So just being patient. If this is the pull, this would be the pull for the bull flag. We didn't even start creating the flag yet, so there's no trade that's going to happen for multiple minutes anyway. So when you know that, it helps you remain calm and like kind of carefree. You want to be like carefree when you're trading, not careless, carefree. Meaning you're not like overconfident and you're also not like euphoric. Like you're just kind of chill. You're just like, all right, we just made $1,000. Like, all right, no big deal. Or all right, we just lost $300. You know, trade didn't work. No big deal. Like that's how you need to feel. You just need to like contain your excitement when you have a big win and just be like, there we go. Not a big deal. When I used to sell solar and I was inside the customer's house at their table and you got the husband and wife, and I was like, all right, so you got two options. Like right when I get to the close part, like you can either pay the utility company $160,000, and that's assuming rates don't go up anymore for the next 25 years, or you can finance $75,000, get a $20,000 tax credit, which brings the cost down to $50,000, and pay $180 each month. And then I would just shut up and stare at them and just wait to hear what they have to say. And then they look at each other and they're like, and eventually they talk and they're like, okay, so what are the next steps? And I'm supposed to remain calm because I know in my head I got a sale. They want to do it. They just told me they want to do it basically without telling me they want to do it. When they said, what are the next steps? I have to remain super calm, even though I know in my head I just made $12,000. Like assuming they sign everything, they get passed for credit, it gets installed. But I had to remain calm in the house. I couldn't be like, oh yeah, we're gonna run your credit, we're gonna do this, and you're gonna sign this, and like I had to remain chill. I didn't want them to feel like, oh, it got sold, and this guy's getting all excited because he's about to make a ton of money. So I would just be like, yeah. So next step is we'll do a soft credit check to see if you guys qualify. I'm still making it seem like they might not even be able to get it, like they don't qualify, you know. And then we'll sign a couple things. We'll schedule your site survey, and then I just go back into like closing them on like what the next steps are. Next thing you know, I'm walking out of the house. I'm getting in my Tesla. I'm driving home. I'm posting to the chat. Austin, 12 kilowatts closed. You know, I just made like 10 grand, but I remained cool and calm. I didn't get like too excited because I knew they could still cancel. You know, they have like a couple days to cancel. It might not get installed. There could be something weird that happens. Like you can never count the money until you actually have it in your account. So with this, it's like you might have a $600 green day, but until you've been consistently trading well for weeks, like you're not going to get a payout. And like until you get a payout, then you can actually like be like, all right, yeah, I did it, got the money. So you got to remain like cool. So we're kind of creating this bull flag right now above the 15-minute range. If we can start breaking out above like this 389 area, we might be able to get this push up, continuation up here. And then we'd be targeting like the 448 area, which is a huge push. So we'll take partial profits. We're only trading 5 micros. Again, we got to get above like 390. If this candle closes and then we push up above here, we'll put in a buy order above this, above the range, 385. Yeah, we still got to wait to see this bull flag kind of play out. I want to see it get above like the 390 area. I know we got on the 1 minute time frame, we kind of got this flag playing out too. See, no, it doesn't have to happen. Price could start coming back down. It doesn't have to do anything. The market can do whatever it wants. I have to do, but I'm very rigid on my rules. So you have to be rigid with your rules, but fluid with your expectations on what the market's going to do. So it's like dating girls. Dating. You know, if you're dating, if you're a single guy, you got to have rules for girls. And you don't establish rules with girls until you've had enough experience with different girls throughout your life and relationships, where now you know, like, hey, if she's got this going on, I don't even participate. Or If she does this or does this, like, that's my rules. I don't get down with that. And you have to be fluid with your expectations. Like, I have no expectations as to what she's going to do or what's going to happen. I don't have any expectations. I don't try to predict the future. I can't. People are unpredictable to a certain degree. The market's very unpredictable. There's no certainties. You can never know or predict what it's going to do. When you have an edge, you have probabilities. There's a high probability that if she does this, the market's going to continue to push up. But I still don't know that it's going to do that. So I have to be willing to accept the risk on the trade that when I'm about to place, that it could just hit my stop loss and I'm done. It didn't work out. And that was the 20, 30% of the time where my edge doesn't play out. But I have to be rigid in my rules first. That's first and foremost, because if that's the part we have control over. But most traders are not rigid with their rules, and then they're fluid with their expectations. So they don't follow the rules. They let people do whatever. They don't stick to their rules, their personal rules. And then they have expectations that, like, oh, this is definitely going to happen, or she's definitely going to do this. You should never assume or predict what people are going to do. In the market, there's buyers, there's sellers, and then there's people like us right now that are sitting and waiting to make a decision, that can jump in and participate in the market whenever they want to buy or sell to control the price. And just like that, look, we didn't get that breakout on the 2-minute. The price is pushing back down to the bottom of the 15-minute range. That might have been a fake out above the range, and we could start, if we close down here, markets could start becoming bearish. So that 2-minute time frame, not getting that breakout, just protected us from getting long up there and losing money. All of this stuff is kind of explained in the book that I'm reading. Right now I'm on chapter 10, and I got one more chapter after this. So when I get back from work today, I'm going to read chapter 10 and 11. But it's really interesting. Now, we'll see if I'm going to have the knowledge about this stuff, but wisdom is when you apply knowledge. You can know all this stuff, but it doesn't matter if you know it if you're not applying it. You know, they say it's not what you know, but it's who you know. But more importantly, it's what you do with who you know. If you knew Bill Gates and you were friends with Bill Gates, but you never utilized that connection, you never called him and was trying to do stuff with him, then what's the point of knowing somebody like that? So with the market, it's like you can know all this stuff on like strategy and psychology and how trading works, but if you're not actually applying it, then what's the point? There we go. Market pushing aggressively down below the 21 EMA now in the 1-minute and the 2-minute. We did not get that breakout. So this is kind of invalidated now. So we'll just delete that. We won't even have that drawn on our screen because it's not valid. The name of the book is called Trading in the Zone. And I got a PDF of it for $1. I went on academia.edu and I paid $1 for the trial, and then I was able to download the whole book. And then I just canceled my subscription. And then he has another book called like The Disciplined Trader, I think, which he wrote before this book that I probably also want to read. And I've never read a single book on trading, and I've been trading since April. And I was like, you know what? I still haven't become profitable. I'm still not consistent. You know, maybe it is a good idea to read a book or something on trading. Like, not a whole bunch of books and not a bunch of books on charts and strategies, but this book specifically focuses on like the human brain and how our mind works and psychology. And I was like, obviously my brain's not working that well and my psychology's off and I'm not thinking right. And I don't always feel that well. I feel stressed out and anxious when I'm trading sometimes. I need to learn how my own brain works then. And it's not your fault that your brain's not working in the way that it needs to work to be a good trader. It's how most of our brains are wired. Most human beings, all of our brains are wired very similarly to how we react to our environments based off of things that happened when we were children, when we were just very young children. So the book gets into detail on how that works so that you can better understand why you're making the mistakes that you're making in trading, and also A lot of the mistakes that you're making in trading are probably mistakes that you're making in real life too, with self-control and discipline and following rules. So if you want to go somewhere in life you've never been, you need to become someone you've never been. You can't keep doing the same habits and thinking the same way if you want to go somewhere different. So, and that's cool and all to like hear that message and know that and they're like, okay, yeah, Austin, that makes sense. Like, all right, cool. But this book will get into like detail on like why that's happening in your brain. Like, it's really good. And it's a book that you can definitely read multiple times. I'm still not finished, but it's like, it's freaking nuts. And I'm happy that I had a subscriber or somebody recommended to me. They said, oh, that book changed everything for me. I was like, everything? But some books do have the power to change a lot of stuff for you. Like, there's a lot of information in 10 chapters of a book that can be crammed in there. So, you know, just a couple sentences of a book can be life-changing. So imagine a whole dang book. Like, imagine the whole thing. Yeah, Bible is one too. The Bible is a good instruction manual for your life. I didn't start reading the Bible until like this year. But even if you don't necessarily agree with everything in the Bible, I just look at it as like, I just don't understand everything. So, but because I don't understand everything doesn't mean that I won't eventually agree with it or it's not right or wrong. See, we try to look at our environment and determine what's right or wrong, but sometimes our perception of what's right and wrong isn't in reality and in truth what actually is true. And the book talks about that too. So it's really interesting, and it's hard for me to summarize it up. You really just got to read the book, just like any other book in the Bible. So now we're looking bearish. We pushed below yesterday's low and put in a new low for today. Now we would be kind of looking for like a pullback to the 21 EMA kind of to get short, to think about taking any shorts. The 21 EMA like kind of flirted with VWAP there and didn't really strike close and pushing up above. And then the price came back down. So yeah, I don't know. Market might want to go down to that. We got an hourly pivot down there at 21.86. But we got this pivot first at 158. So now we're kind of building our bear flag maybe here on the 2-minute chart. You know, if we can get kind of a ding, 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 ding up and then a breakthrough, then we could jump in for a short. This is what it looks like on the 1 minute. Right now we're at the 70s, 21 EMA up there, 308. Now we're at the 80s, so 28 points away. Bear flag is looking like it's building pretty nicely right now. I want to see it break out on the 2-minute though. So we keep the 2-minute chart pulled up here so we can keep our focus and attention on what we need to see next. See, if we stay on this screen too long, we'll get too focused on what's going on the 1-minute time frame. But we need to keep the 2-minute time frame because the plan and the strategy says that we need to see the breakout on the 2-minute. So I can't see the breakout on the 2-minute if I'm looking at the 1-minute. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm looking over here, I can't see what's behind me because I don't have eyes in the back of my head. So if you want to see, if the next step is that you need to see what the 2-minute chart is telling you, what do you have to look at? You have to look at the 2-minute chart. I only have one external monitor, and I go back and forth between Trade of 8 here, the 1 minute, and our entries. And then trading view, the 2 minute, which is what we need to see first. This is the next step. So we're going to stay on this screen until we see it break out. We're just going to see it set. Just wait for it on here. That's all we got to do. We got our glasses on, so we can definitely see good now. Pretty sure if I was flying on an airplane right now as a pilot, I would be, okay, hold on, guys. Let me put my glasses on. Movie them, flying a plane. Pretty important to see. What you doing? I would want to see all the instruments on the control panel on the airplane very clearly. So it's kind of what we're doing here. So I get contacts for LASIK eye surgery. So just pull back up to about that 300 area, 20 points away from the 21 EMA on the 2 minute. See where this candle closes. Hopefully it doesn't just break through and we miss it. You know, it can happen sometimes. I'm not getting faked out here. See, gotta stay on the 2 minute there. Wait for the 2 minute. Wait for it. Wait for it. You ever see that Cat Williams skit when he's talking about the tigers at the zoo? They're like, I bet those tigers, all they talk about is if somebody were to ever climb over that fence and come into this cage, what they would do. They would say, hold on, guys, this is not a drill. This guy's about to climb over the fence right now. Wait for it. Wait for it. Maul him. The tiger just eats you. That's what we're doing. We gotta sit here. We're like in the bush right now. We're just hiding, waiting for that buck to come out, waiting for that kill shot, waiting for that 2 minute candle to close in 20 seconds. Then we're gonna come in. Boom! See, that's why I didn't want to get short on that 1 minute breakout. We broke out right here, but then we pushed on up again. So we kind of need to get below this 250 area probably now. Is what I want to see. I want to see it get like below here. Our stop would be at like here. These are big candles. Stop would be right here. There we go. We're in. We're going to take one out. Take one out here. Our first TP. There we go. Getting filled. Change our stop to 4 contracts. Take another one off down here at see if we get this continuation. That was an ugly retracement right there. And let's keep going down. All right. We didn't get it. Oh, man. We got filled with 1 contract, and then we got reversed and took us out with 4 up here for a loss. And now pulling back up to the 21 EMA, just not getting that breakout. We didn't pull all the way back to the 21 EMA on the 2 minute. So that was kind of breaking one of our rules. We broke out on the 2 minute here just to pull right back up. And when we got short, we were way too far from the 21 EMA on the 1 minute. So $107 loss. Took partial profits and then got stopped out. So couple things to look back on. We got short at 250. The 21 EMA on the 1 minute was 44 points away. Way too far from the 21 EMA on the 1 minute. So that should have told us not to get short yet. Or yeah, that was just a bad trade. After all that talk, and I'm fucking dehydrated because I don't have no goddamn water in here. My mouth feels like it's like a fucking desert. Like I filled my mouth with sand. We should have known. We took a short way too far from 21 EMA. Now we're pushing back up inside the range. Market just, it's not the market's fault, though, it's my fault. But the market is what the market is. The market is choppy and it's back inside the range now. But it's never the market's fault. I mean, it's still kind of bear flagging, but now we went up to the 21 EMA. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. Don't know what to say about that. Oops. It's 9:26 a.m. Sit here for another 34 minutes, see if we see a good setup or not. So that's it. I don't know. Market closed tomorrow. I don't know if that affected anything with the market being closed tomorrow. I don't know. There's less volume, or I don't have a volume indicator on right now. But should have maybe known not to get short until we broke out from these lows right here. Looking at the 15-minute chart, kind of bought like at this floor right here. I mean, shorted. Like this is almost like a support down here. We got to break out below that. You know what I mean? We got short at 250. And 15 points above kind of this support area. It's kind of ugly down there because if it breaks out on this 2-minute trend line, we still got this like support area acting as, as a price floor that it would have to break through, and then we got a pivot point down here at 157. Just kind of you know what I mean? Unless we get try another breakout on this 2-minute, we're not going to be only targeting like 237. kind of where we got filled before. See where this candle closes on the 2-minute first. This candle's got to close. Another 15 seconds. Their stops would be like around the 21 EMA up here. We can get below the bottom of this wick. This wick's at like 273. First take profit would be like there. Take some more off down here. Set in different like take profit areas. Not gonna risk more than like 20 points. So we kind of like she wants to go. She wants to go downtown. Looks like. Just chopping right now on the 21 EMA. I mean, there's not a lot of momentum right here. What's going on? Don't know if we can get below the 70s here. Head on down. But market's kind of just pulled back up. I mean, we kind of got this. Here's the pole. Here's the flag. And then we're kind of maybe going to get one of these. I don't know. Don't know. Shopping. Shopping right now. She don't want to do anything. She just wants to go sideways. You know? What can you do? I don't know. Can't do shit. Pushing back up. Well, now we're pushing above the 21 EMA. Back up to VWAP. Back right in the middle of the 15-minute range. Oh boy. Ugly, ugly, ugly. So much for that. I don't really like that bear flag anymore. I don't think I like it anymore. Unless I was just a trip up to VWAP right now and then back down. I don't know. And we're just sitting here. What does the 15-minute candles look like? Down and then right back up. 20. 5-minute chart. And 2-minute chart. What's BS doing? BS. Looks like it's bearish still. So, I don't know. ES is still going down. Kind of. You know? That's going down. But then lower lows and lower highs. But Nasdaq's pushing up. So that's, they don't always have to correspond with each other. But this is trading. Huh? Pushing back up inside the 15-minute range. Usually it's rare that it fakes out above and then doesn't get a nice continuation below. That it fakes out above, fakes out below, and then pushes back in. Like, that's not common. What? I don't know. We're now pushing above the VWAP. Getting a pull back to the 21 EMA now. Maybe the bulls are going to step in and be in control. We are above VWAP now. The 21 EMA, if that crosses over VWAP, we can get a bull flag up here. Might be able to take some longs. I want to see. I wanted to see the bull flag above the 15-minute range, not inside the 15-minute range. I price has to stay above 340. I wouldn't want to enter below 340. Pulling up 21 EMA. Market is just, this is a chop fest. This is a chop fest. Back below VWAP. Market just fucking going sideways. Just doom, 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 doom. What is it gonna fucking do this all day long? Like, it's not gonna do that shit all day long. But we're only here for another 20 minutes. So if it waits to be a good girl until after we done, whatever. You know, whatever. Why couldn't she give it to me now? You know, she don't always have to give it to you right away, you know? She don't have to give it to you. Sometimes you gotta wait until tomorrow. You gotta be a little patient. You gotta go on a date with her first, take her out for dinner, and then maybe you'll get it on the second date. You know what I mean? You don't want her to give it up to you too easy. Man, it is what it is. I don't know what to tell you, dude. This is just kind of choppy. Kind of choppy. I don't know if I really like this bull flag on the 1 minute. I don't want to get long right below VWAP. We got to get like above this 340 area. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Yes, it's still putting in a lower high right there. Yeah. Yeah, these candles are stupid. This is just choppy. So there's nothing you can do. We don't control the market. Hey, I don't control the market. If I controlled the market, I would be a really rich person. I'd be a fucking billionaire if I controlled the market. I don't control the market. So whoever's pushing these buttons for buy and sell orders is just freaking going sideways. I can't trade that. I don't have a high probability of knowing. I don't have an edge. I don't have the chart's not showing me where I can execute my strategy, which has an edge, which again, at the end of the day, is still just a probability in my favor, but it's not a guarantee. Earlier, we didn't get a nice pullback to the 21 EMA. That was just a bad trade that I took. We got short before we got a pullback to the 21 EMA, and then we got this area down here acting as support. So, like, yeah, we took a little bit of partials, and then we got reversed and stopped out, like, just way too far from the 21 EMA. So, got pulled back up and then down. Like, if anything, maybe if we were going to jump in for a short here at like the 76s, caught 20 points right here, but then it still didn't get that break of structure and continuation at reverse. So those are it's just ugly. They'll make us sit here just fucking no setups for a whole 2 hours, one of those days. And then tomorrow the market's closed, and we'll be back on Friday. We'll see what happens. Anybody's watching right now, they're like, I don't know if are you guys seeing the same thing I'm saying? We got 8 people watching. I know not everybody that's watching is probably a day trader. Like, what are you guys thinking? Put your comments in the chats. Like, what do you think about what you're saying? Usually everybody's got an opinion and something to say, but I mean, I know I don't have a whole lot of people watching, but what do you guys think with this? This is just choppy. We're inside the 15-minute range still. We faked out above and below it. Didn't get any continuation. It's not trending in one direction or the other. There's no trend. So if there's no trend, how can I determine if I'm going long or short? I would just be flipping a coin. You might as well get a quarter out and just flip a quarter. All right, if it lands on heads, we're going to buy. You might as well just do that. That's gambling, though. So just got to wait until freaking Friday. It is what it is. You ain't going to get rich quick trading in the beginning when you first start. It's not going to be like that solar money, man. You get one solar sale, bam, you get paid 10 grand in 2 weeks. It ain't like that. It is not like that. This is for the long haul. This is a skill that if you figure out this skill, it'll pay you for years and years and years and years. And it is the most freeing, amazing, beautiful, probably thing ever. This is not something that you figure out overnight or in a couple weeks or months. And on a day like this, we may get some nice price action here in an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours, but I'm not going to be here. I got to go to work. I got to go to my other job. So if it doesn't set up within the first 2 hours, if I don't see my setups, there's just nothing I can do. Shredder said FOMC day is a day I used to definitely not trade to do way too much volatility. Oh, yeah, I know. I had my first FOMC day this year, and I traded. I made a little bit of money, but I was like, dude, these waves are huge. It was like freaking 200. It was just nuts. Too much volatility. Actually, beat me up today already. Is it muted? Is what muted? What do you mean, is it muted? Can you guys hear my microphone? All right, I don't know why Sharif's saying it's muted. Shredder, you're saying beat me up today. What'd you have? A little red day? A little red day today? Well, that's all right. It's just a game of probability. You're only so many losing trades away from a winning trade. You can't just lose all the time, just like you can't win all the time. But your winners just have to be larger than your losers, and it's a game of probability. So when you think about it that way, you don't get down when you're red, and you don't get high when you're green. You're just like, we're just doing it. We're just showing up and doing our trades. So, but we got another 13 minutes left in our session here. Just like there's a New York session, a Tokyo session, a London session, there's an Austin Lee session. An Austin Lee session is from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m., and our trades are entered between 9 and 10 a.m. No, it's not getting longer. It's just that I usually, the longest my stream ever goes to is 10 a.m. Central Time. We start breaking out down here now. Below the 15-minute range, it's just there's no setup right now. There's no, this isn't really a bear fight anymore. The price could just drop right here, but I just don't like it. I don't like it fully. If I don't fully like it, I'm not taking the trade because I know there's risk associated with every trade. It's a couple $100. So it's like, do I want to pay a couple $100 to find out if I was right when I don't fully even feel good about the trade? It's not even my edge. No, that's what we talked about before the stream. We have to follow our edge and plan consistently with small micros until we scale up. Little tilt session, down $600 on each account. Doing best not to enter anywhere. Well, $600 on a $50,000 account is a tolerable amount of loss. But that's definitely like you need to lock that in then and come back on Friday. $600 isn't too much of a loss on a $50,000 account. Right now, I don't want my red days to be $600 because I'm scaling down. But if I was trading well for a couple weeks and I had a $600 red day, that would be a normal red day. That would be nothing. There's nothing bad about that. Assuming you lock it in and stop trading for the rest of the day, maybe. But also don't necessarily take my advice because, hey, I haven't even gotten a payout. The book talks about living in the now moment. So it'll also talk about traders who are able to just live in the now and see the opportunities and take advantage of them. But then that kind of contradicts like the over trading discipline of like locking your red day. Yeah, the trailing stop makes it a little less tolerable. Well, yeah. I want you to get that equity curve moving up in the upwards direction. So we just bounced off the bottom of the 15-minute range just to start pushing back up again. This is just nasty price action since the market moved. Since the market opened, we're like right back to where we were when we opened. The market opened at 354 and we're at 321. We're only 30 points below where the market opened after 2 hours of the market being open. So that's just a terrible day for a momentum trader to try to take any trades. You can't trade this. It is what it is. I do get a little frustrated about it, and I need to figure that part out in my brain because I shouldn't be getting frustrated. I should actually be like, hey, it is what it is. The market did something that I don't control. Instead of being a thermometer, you need to be a thermostat. A thermometer reacts to its environment. A thermostat like wakes up in the beginning of the day and it sets its own setting on being grateful, feeling happy, all that kind of stuff. Like, I'm going to have a happy day. I'm going to feel grateful today. This is the thermostat setting that I'm setting my own brain on. Whereas a thermometer reacts to what's going on around it to influence the way it feels and behaves. So if the market's moving sideways and not giving us anything, we're not going to react like, oh, what the hell, and get all angry and react wrong. We're just going to go, hey, today's one of those days. It's rare, but it has to happen. It's just part of the probability that you get days like this. I mean, if you look at the market, it's just kind of, it's going sideways. We got more volume. We got this nice push down. But, like, there was nothing in my strategy that told me to really enter that, because even if you drew a trend line here, lower low, like this, then we close below 21 and like jump in short here, but like look at what it was doing right before that. It was just going sideways. So I didn't see a bearish or a bullish trend. I'm only down $100. But right here, down $100. And it shows that I have more winning trades than losing trades somehow. Oh, because of I took like a small $20 winning trade last night at like 8 p.m. just to test something out on my phone. So it counted that as today. So, you know what I mean? We're just chopping sideways here. Still nothing to do. There's no move to make here. I don't want to get long right here. Yeah, it looks like the market's pushing up, like it's going like this, right? But the reason why I don't like the idea of getting long in this area right here is because we're right above VWAP. I mean, right below VWAP. This yellow line can act as resistance. Doesn't mean the price is going to necessarily push through it. Until this 21 EMA crosses above VWAP, I'm not viewing the market as bullish. So, and I'm not even anxious right now. I'm literally just looking at, but you're right. And if you are anxious, it's because you're not thinking properly and you're not trading from a viewpoint of probabilities. You're trading with your feelings and hopes and desires and trying to predict what the market's going to do. And that would lead to anxiety because it's an uncertain environment. There's no certainties. There's no guarantees. So most traders think that they know what's going to happen next. And that's what will lead to anxiety. Because even though it's called futures trading, none of you know how to predict the future. Okay? None of us predict the future. If you could predict the future, then you would win every single one of your trades and you would be a billionaire. So that's why you're feeling anxious. You're feeling anxious because when you put on a trade, you've waited and you've analyzed and you think you know what it's going to do next. But when you can switch into the state of mind that when I put on a trade, I don't know what's going to happen next. I've accepted the risk. I have my stop loss. I know how much I'm risking. And if it hits it, that's the cost to find out what if I was right or wrong. But you don't go into the trade knowing. You go into a trade with a probability that, hey, based off of what it's doing, there's a high probability that it's going to do this, and we're going to pay this much money with a risk to find out. And we're either going to win or we're going to lose. But with every edge, there's a random distribution of wins and losses. Even if you have an 80% win rate with your strategy, you're going to lose 20% of the time. You could have 4 losses in a row with a 20% loss because you could just have back-to-back losses, but then you're going to have 10 wins in a row. And if you can't train your brain to think in terms of probabilities, when you have those losses, you talk a lot about probabilities. What's the expected win rate on the strategy that you're trading? Yeah, good question. It's like roughly like 80%, which is a good win rate. And the R to R, the risk to reward ratio, is easily like consistently 1 to 2. So with that being said, and there's a lot of different strategies out there that can do that. Mine isn't the only one. It's very simple. Then why haven't I been profitable? Why haven't I gotten payouts then if that's true? If I have an 80% win rate strategy with a 1 to 2 risk to reward, because of my inability so far to stick to the plan and follow the rules. Once we follow the rules and the edge, then we can actually start getting payouts and profits and see that it works. But if I backtest and look at all the data and input my rules backwards, it works. Today is a day where between market open and 10 a.m. Texas time, the strategy not only, it's not that it didn't work, it didn't even present itself, which is what I mean. 20% of the time it like doesn't even like present itself. I've only been journaling. Usually you want to journal. I mean, I've been journaling trading Nasdaq since August, but this strategy, I went back to like December 2nd. Usually you want to go back like 2 or 3 months, but there's just, I mean, the market, I'm a momentum trader, right? What does the book say to help with tilt revenge trading? That's a good question. I don't know exactly what it says in terms of speaking on that, but it definitely probably talks about that. Trading's the only thing where like, yeah, we're done for the day, by the way, guys, because there's 2 minutes left in the session. Just in case you're wondering, I'm not placing any more trades today. There's 2 minutes left in the session. I just want to answer some questions or talk a little bit, but you know, the market's just doing this. When the market's doing this, like there's no way for me to enter and put on a trade with a high probability that I know it's going up or down. I need to see, this is what I need to see. If this is the 15-minute opening range, I need to see like higher highs, higher lows, like it trending in one direction or it trending in this direction. You know, we got a pivot point right here and we got a pivot point right here, and the market has still failed to push in either of those directions. It's just going sideways. So there's nothing to be done today. We took one trade. We lost $100. We took partial profits. We got short here. Took a quick 10 points on one micro contract and then got stopped out on our other 4. These are pretty big candles. That was a 20-point stop loss. Usually I keep like a 10 to 20-point stop loss. Look for 1 to 2s, 1 to 3s. Get in, get out, get paid. You know, we just didn't see any setups today, and we took a small $100 red day. I'm happy with it. But I mean, what does it say about going on tilt? I don't know. I mean, you know when you're about to go on tilt. You can feel it. You know when you're doing stuff you're not supposed to do. Like since you were like a 5-year-old kid We know the difference between right and wrong. Once you get to the age of reasoning, which is like when you're in like first grade, you know what's bad and what's wrong because your parents and your teachers have told you what the rules are, and you know when you're being bad. Okay, so that's why when kids are like really young, they're innocent. When they do things that are bad, you can't really blame them for it, and they're not really sinning because they're not even at the age of reason yet. But so when you're a trader, when you've been trading long enough, you can feel, you know, when you're doing something that's bad and wrong, and you just have to have self-control. And until you've made that going on tilt multiple times, eventually you probably get sick and tired of yourself with doing it, that you're like, you know what, I'm sick and tired of doing this to myself. I'm not doing it anymore. And eventually you're just not going to do it anymore. Not maybe forever, but for a very long time. Maybe it'll be another year before you go on tilt one day and you blow up your account after you've made hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. And then one day you lose 50 grand and you go on tilt. But when you're a beginner, you probably go on tilt more often until eventually you just, like, here's an example. I used to be an alcoholic. I used to drink a lot, like nonstop. And I had a lot of issues in my life from drinking. Eventually, it didn't have anything to do with any book you could read or anybody telling you alcohol is bad or Austin, you should stop drinking. Eventually, I got just sick and tired of all the problems that I was having with my life from drinking, and I just stopped drinking. So you can read about it in a book, and you can know that you shouldn't go on tilt, and they can tell you all these like strategies on how to not go on tilt. But until you're ready to make that psychological switch and stop doing it, I mean, like there's no magical formula or pill or answer for that. I did it on Monday afternoon. I go on tilt at this rate like once a month. So if now I can get, hopefully not go on tilt for like 3 months, I want to keep trying to extend and push out how long it takes me before I get into that psychological state of mind, to the point where hopefully it's like never. But yeah, so Archie, what you're describing is a very high win rate, but a low risk to reward. So like, and then there's people that have low win rate but high risk to reward. Usually you don't have a high win rate and a high risk to reward at the same time. That's like impossible. So and I wouldn't really recommend a strategy like that because it only allows you to trade 4 times in the last 3 years. You want to have a strategy that lets you participate in the market almost every day, because you want to be getting paid every week or every 2 weeks. You got bills to pay, right? You don't want a strategy that plays out 4 times in the last 3 years. That's cool to keep that in your back pocket and keep an eye on, but we're day traders and I'm basically taking quick trades. You don't want to, Archie, I would, listen, I'm not a professional and I'm not giving financial advice, but I would abandon that strategy. You want something that like gives you a lot of opportunities so that you can be taking money out of the market every week. Ours didn't give us a setup today. The market is just going sideways. Look, we are literally where we were almost when we opened. We're less than 20 points away from where the market opened today. So the market is just not moving. It's just going sideways. So that's it. That's our trading session for the day. I hope you guys learned something. I'm gonna go to work and then read the rest of this book today. Tomorrow I'm gonna just kind of look at charts and exercise and meditate. Hopefully I get my water back on and running in the RV, and Friday we'll come back and try again. We'll show up and see what the market wants to give us on Friday. And even if the market does what it does today, you shouldn't have a red day then, because it's never the market's fault. I should have known to just take like no trade today. But hey, we took one and it was a small loss. It was $100. Like that's not a big deal at all. So, but some days the market's going to be like this where it's just going sideways. There's no momentum up or down. How do you make? You can't even make money. The price has to be moving. So, not tomorrow. We'll see you on Friday. Markets close tomorrow. Jimmy Carter died, one of our presidents here in the United States. So they closed the whole stock market down for him tomorrow. You really got to be an important person if when you die, they decide to close the whole stock market down for you the week after you die. I don't know too many people that can say that when they died, they closed the whole stock market down for them. I didn't even know that was a thing until yesterday. And I looked on my Apple calendar and it said Jimmy Carter Honorable Memorial Day or something. I didn't even know he died. So I don't really watch the news. But anyway, I think he was like 100 years older. So he was old. All right, we'll be back on Friday. Thanks to everyone who showed up and liked the video. And I'm going to go to the restaurant now and serve some country food for some country folks around here, make some tips, make some money so I can pay my little bit of bills for living in this RV. And then we'll be back on Friday. All right, y'all. Peace out. Peace and love. Later.